One thing I realized is that things change in life. Things come and go, just like games. Some games that are over a decade old now, like Minecraft, still have their legacy carried on, just like some of the games I post, such as the Splatoon franchise. And yes, this series is turning a decade old next year, so I believe it counts, and Team Fortress 2, even Portal content as well. These games are all over 10 years old. The Minecraft community was one of the things I grew up in. Minecraft was what I enjoyed as a kid, and nowadays it genuinely feels like a toxic cesspool of content to even be merely associated with. Sometimes I just wish life was easier for myself and abuse victims like myself. Almost 2 years ago, I had a YouTube channel dedicated to Minecraft content, maybe 3 or 4 years at this point. I started my own SMP, piggybacking off of the Minecraft SMP trend. This trend would define my content as I started making content with friends and figuring out what we'd do next or what we wanted to build. My videos racked up hundreds of views, some even reaching over 1,000. At the time, I sounded like a prepubescent boy despite being 17 or 18. There was so much happening to me behind the scenes that I didn't want to make it public. Out of the blue, all my socials were wiped, my YouTube, my Instagram, my Twitter, even my Discord. So, where did I go? What happened to my SMP? Believe it or not, my story is a lot more complex than you may think. I had been groomed for the 3rd time now by someone who was 40 years old. How did I know this? Why did it happen? Well, the man told me flat out his age. At this time, I had also told him my age, which I was 16 at the time. He knew my age very well and just didn't care. The grooming happened because I was under the impression that age gaps don't matter because he had told me they don't matter, as long as they love each other. I loved him, so of course the age gap didn't matter, right? Well, the age gap did matter because my former real-life friends, thank Arceus for them, stepped in after I made a group chat with him and himself. And that's when he told them the infamous grooming line of age is just a number. Right, and jail is just a place where your ass should be. Before I had ever told my friends on my 18th birthday, the man, who I will call Gary, had been doing erotic roleplays with me. Again, Gary very much knew my age, and he knew what he was doing when partaking in these acts with me. He kept calling me pet names and such, which made me so uncomfortable and made me want to vomit as I edited this video. This happened numerous times, more times than I can count on my hands alone. He'd always ask me if I was comfortable or if I was feeling okay, and at one point he had even sent me a file full of images of his, There were 40 images total, and he said it was a special surprise for me and for me only. He kept telling me that if I behaved and was a good boy, I'd get more, which is just EW. Now, I'm not too sure what happened with him. He hasn't been online in over 4 years now. He was booted offline on March 18th of 2021, a few days after my 18th birthday. By the way, my birthday is March 6th for specifics if you guys wanted to know, and I recently turned 21. However, how does my story relate to my old YouTube channel and old video games? Well, it plays a huge part, more than you'd probably think. Minecraft, a decade-old game, helped me cope through the trauma I had endured as a teenager. It helped me get through so much. When all of that was stripped away from me after I turned 18 and came out about my situation to my parents, I was heavily hurt. However, I'm almost sure my parents were just as torn as I was, knowing their child, their oldest child, had gotten groomed for the 3rd time. Ever since then, I hadn't made another YouTube channel because I knew I wouldn't get another chance at actually seeing the light of fame. Now, I post content not about myself, but rather to show the world that people still care about old games. No matter if they're 10 years old or 50 years old, there is still a community for every single game to exist, no matter if it's big or small. Now I sit here, for years later, playing Team Fortress 2. I hadn't fully started playing until September 12th of 2023, and even then I didn't play as much. Until about a week later, I became heavily invested in the game. During the beginning few weeks of getting into Team Fortress 2, I was becoming heavily depressed, way more depressed than before because I had recently found that one of the people who had formerly associated with me had been lying about their age. This person had gone out of their way to make my life hell and abuse me. I would go into further details, however I do not wish to have them come after me. Because of this person, I ended up still trying to unalive myself. This person kept denying the fact that I was ever hurt by them this badly, telling me to suck it up or that I was faking it for attention. Because of all the grooming that happened to me, it made me realize that I'm satisexual. For those unaware of this microlabel, it's someone who was once allosexual, meaning you want to have an intimate relationship with someone and now identify as asexual or one of its umbrella terms due to trauma. It took me such a long time to realize, and even this person who hurt me kept denying it and being as asephobic as you possibly can. During these times in my life where I had almost completely forgotten my old self because my trauma and the memories of this happening kept flooding back, I lost touch of myself. After 2 months of being into Team Fortress 2, I realized how much it had genuinely saved my life. I didn't want to unalive myself anymore. I didn't want to think about death anymore. I wanted to do nothing but live in the moment and enjoy this over 15-year-old game. Because, genuinely, I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for this game.